Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first Liberty Common High School commencement ceremonies and graduation. This time I'd ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, as you've noticed, our students entered the room together with all students from Liberty in their houses, and I will now ask Mr. Mayor and Mr. Staten, the House Deans from Domus Justitiae, to call forward their graduates.
Representing the House of Justice, we have Christiana Spicer, Sarah Wilson, Evan Rencher, and Matthew Bunner.
Representing the House of Fortitude, we have Josh Cochran,
Jonathan Ruska,
Katarina Wurst,
and Ciara Young.
Representing the House of Gratitude, Megan Davis.
Melissa Davis. David Gabler.
Kiana Lozon.
Sarah Stice.
From the House of Prudence, we have Tabitha Baptista.
Gabrielle Baer.
Elizabeth Sherman.
Emily Ye.
Representing the House of Temperance, we have Hope Jeffers.
and Alana Sutton.
Finally, graduates, before being seated. On January 10th of 49 BC, Julius Caesar's 13th Legion crossed the River Rubicon to launch Caesar's civil war against Rome. On that same day, January 10th in 2013, Liberty launched its own Legion of 13, 2,062 years later. The order recognizes those seniors who have attended Liberty for 13 years, starting in kindergarten. In this year's graduating class, there are 4. They are the inaugural members of the Legion of 13. I'd ask them to come forward. And the escorts, please bring them up to the stage. Their names are now permanently fixed in bronze on a rock wall in the school amid a display celebrating the completion of 13 years, starting this year with the class of 2013. Rubicon in Latin means red. As such, the Legion of 13 members wear the red key. Caesar's 13th Legion was represented by the lion, which you can see on their banner. The other banner reads, Communis Scientiae Virtutis et Prudentiae, which means common knowledge, common virtue, and common sense, the motto of Liberty Common School. After receiving their red keys last January, these 13ers headed to the elementary school and gave the kindergartners white challenge keys to wear. And the white challenge keys challenged the kindergartners to complete 13 years at Liberty and to join the Legion of 13 12 years from now. That would be 2025. And hopefully they'll make it. You'll see some of those kindergartners later participating in today's ceremony. In fact, they'll be bringing each graduate's diploma up to the stage for presentation. Graduates, please be seated. At graduations, we celebrate high achievements of our students. To achieve the highest academic performance among a field of high academic performers is a glorious accomplishment. With the school year now over and the scores in, it's my honor to announce our first valedictorian and salutatorian. Both awardees are not just academic leaders, they are leaders to their core. Both are standout athletes, active in their churches and community. Both were elected by their peers as the school's 2 school captains. They have led the way to defining and developing our house system from its infancy to a system that helps enrich every student in our school and establish our student life. It is through their combined efforts that Liberty is known as a top academic institution, athletically known as a formidable competitor, and widely known as a school that produces outstanding young leaders. I'll start by recognizing our salutatorian, earning the school's 2nd highest grade point average, is Emily Yeh. Our valedictorian, earning the school's highest grade point average, is Christiana Spicer.
Graduation. Graduation is what brings us together today. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm serious about 10% of the time. And since the valedictorian speech is supposed to be all nostalgic and such, I thought I'd make a joke at the beginning so that the rest of the speech wouldn't be plagued by my constant sarcasm. Okay, let's get started. Class of 2013, we've made it. It's been a bumpy ride, but we've finally reached the end. Now, everyone else in the school would say that we were the favorites. They would say that the administration was easy on us because we were the oldest. They would say that we were lucky to be the first ones. And yes, we were lucky. We got to be the first ones to eat lunch off campus. We got Big City burrito and cake for our ACT scores. And we got to be the leaders of our high school throughout our entire high school career. But all that didn't come free, did it? We also had to be the first ones to figure out just what an AP class was and realize that we could study 5 hours in a night for one class. We had to be the ones to realize what exactly the house system was even going to look like. And we had to be the first ones to go through the torture chamber that our school likes to call American literature. yes, we have had our ups and downs as a class, but in the end, I feel incredibly blessed to have attended Liberty. Between the wonderful faculty, the amazing leadership opportunities, the character building, and the academic rigor of this school, the class of 2013 feels confident as we head off to college. Liberty has prepared us in all areas of our lives. We feel confident in our academics, in our virtues, and our leadership. First, our academics. Liberty prides itself on its academic excellence. The classes offered at Liberty in elementary through high school provide students with an education that few teenagers are able to get in today's world. Throughout high school, Liberty has constantly pushed us in academics. We have had to buckle down and study our butts off the night before multiple tests in order to ensure that good grade. But we survived, and we are better for it. Going off to college, we know how to study for our classes. We're able to focus and get done what we need to get done in order to do well. Although Liberty is known for its academics, that is not all Liberty has prepared us for. Liberty has also solidified our leadership. If we had gone to a different high school, we would not have been able to accomplish half of the things that we were able to at Liberty. Sure, it wasn't always fun planning a day where 200 elderly folk can come tour your school, but we wouldn't trade the experience for one at any other school. Liberty gave us the opportunity to be a leader in every sense of the word. We got to be in front of our school organizing events. We got to be behind the scenes helping other people. And we got to mentor younger leaders as they came up the ranks. These leadership opportunities have thoroughly prepared us for our future. Lastly, our virtues. Liberty has drilled foundation stones and capstones into us ever since we could pronounce them. But they have impacted us. Now, I'm not saying we're going off to college and think to ourselves before every action, is this the prudent thing to do? But the foundation stones and capstones will always be in the back of our minds. They are now ingrained in us and will hopefully guide us throughout the rest of our lives. All in all, I wouldn't trade my high school experience for any other. This school has prepared me for anything that college can throw at me, and it has provided me with amazing friendships that have gotten me to where I am today. I thank each and every one of you for guiding me along the way. Liberty, it's been a good ride, but the class of 2013 is now ready for life after Liberty.
Tabitha and Will, we're ready for you. Sit back and enjoy this, everyone.
I pray you'll be alright and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe. I pray we'll find your light and hold it in our hearts. When stars go out each night,
Turn us still a
let this be our prayer. us faith, so we'll be safe. Sogniamo il mondo senza violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza, ognuno di amare suo vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dai,
We ask that life be kind.
il desiderio che
Watch us from above.
ognuno trovi
We
amore
hope each soul will find
intorno dentro sé.
another soul to love.
Let this be our prayer,
Let this be our prayer.
just like every child.
Just like every child
needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. In la fede che hai acceso in noi. Sento che ci salve.
Wonderful job, Tabby and Will. The class of 2013 got together and selected one representative of their class to deliver remarks on behalf of the entire class. The senior they selected to address you all on this special occasion is Elizabeth Sherman.
Well, the past few weeks for me have been quite a blur. As you all know, with finals and AP tests, it can get kind of crazy. So it hasn't really sunken in until today that we're not actually coming back to school at Liberty. And though I'm extremely excited to see where the Lord takes us all in the future, it is kind of bittersweet. Sweet because there will be no more Mr. Kim to harass us. No more dress code, and we'll have open campus every day. But extremely bitter because we're leaving a family here. And I was trying to think of why Liberty is such a family to us all. And I know there's something that no one can really define or put their finger on, but there's something else, and I think that's a sense of improvement. And what I mean by that is that in everything we do, in everything we're taught, it's meant to improve us. The founders of Liberty, the administration, and the teachers want us to be our best selves. They want us to succeed and become extraordinary. So they've created this amazing environment of learning and love. It's not just about math facts and theories, but about our history, our character, and what it means to be human in this imperfect world. And that's really what brings us together. It's a desire to improve ourselves and the world around us. We've gone through these past 4 years together, the teachers, administration, and students. Through all of the guinea pig testing, the failures, and successes, through everything we raise each other up, seeing the best in our peers when they can't see it in themselves. Our teachers see potential in us even when we are ready to throw our books in frustration. I know I speak for the entire senior class when I say thank you to our teachers. Your dedication is incredible, and your passion for the subject you teach is inspiring. You have equipped us with the knowledge and tools to succeed in the future, but more importantly, the drive to keep learning. Something drives this forward-looking attitude, and it's love. A number of times in the past 4 years, I have heard teachers say that they love their students. Actually love. They legitimately care about our well-being, happiness, and our futures, and that's why Liberty is a second family. The love the school has. We hold one another up. Juniors, you're almost there. You've made it through the toughest year. I personally can't wait for your ACT score composite to come back. We all are hoping that you beat us and keep the school at the #1 place. And we're excited to see where you all end up next year. We're cheering you on, and we want you to excel. It's your time to shine now. And seniors, we've done the impossible. Every late night, every American Lit paper, every math assignment has led to graduation. But besides academics, we're ready to face the world and our futures with the knowledge that we have a whole school rooting for our success. The administration, teachers, students, everyone wants us to succeed. And they have given us the tools to do so. So as we say hello to our futures today, I know we are not saying goodbye to the past, because it's not just the past, it's our family also. We will always call Liberty a home and always have the Eagles in our hearts.
The seniors have also selected a class song. Ms. Voorhees is assembling the choir now, and they are about to perform it.
So this is our school's choir, and we're gonna sing our class song, Daylight by Maroon 5. Our class chose this song because of the symbolism it holds for our class being so close together, yet moving apart tomorrow.
Here I am waiting, I'll have to leave soon. Why am I holding on? We knew this day would come, we knew it all along. How did it come so fast? This is our last night, but it's late, and I'm trying not to sleep, 'cause I know
class of 2013 gathered earlier in the year and came to a consensus on the one faculty member whom they wanted to deliver a message on behalf of the faculty and the school, and to give everyone here today a glimpse into the minds and hearts of our professional teaching staff. The instructor chosen by the class is their English teacher, Mr. Jared Dibzinski.
This is for you guys, so. And I need to get right to it because I have 10 minutes and administration has decided if I go over, they're going to suspend Mr. Schaefer over this stage to do his best like Deus Ex Machina Aphrodite impression and get Paris off of this battle stage because you have diplomas to get and cake to eat. And that joke right there, that solidifies your awesome nerdiness right there. If I tried that at some other graduation ceremony today, it might get some smiles, but only because the sentence ended with reference to cake. But as it is, you are enriched by the vision of Mr. Schaefer hovering over the stage as a rescuing goddess. And okay, well, you're maybe not enriched by it, but you are definitely marked by it. And so let your understanding of this whole joke as this microphone goes down. It's going to be one of those like 7th grade dance moves. Let your whole understanding of this joke be a small example of a larger reality you celebrate today at the end of your Liberty education. You get stuff. You understand stuff. You've had doors to other worlds presented to you, and you've opened them faithfully, late night after late night. Sometimes you had to be shoved through the door, but most of the time you walked through, and what you found, I hope, was life-changing. I hope you found echoes of beauty and longings for home in adventurous literature. I hope you found those same tuggings in art lessons on the masters and in musical passages played by you and for you. I hope you felt the blessed vibrancy of human motion and health in PE. I hope you were astonished by math's order in the midst of apparent chaos and engineering celebration of design and designers. I hope tech classes amazed you at our drive to think up processors and programs that outthink us and serve us. I hope you appreciated the literal other worlds opened up through other languages. I hope science stopped you dead in your tracks in wonder and then flung you forward in increased curiosity. I hope history gave you a framework and motivation to examine the import and potential of our short lives on earth. I say I hope, but I know my colleagues, and I know most of your parents, and I know you. So I'm confident that I just described, at least in part, your Liberty education. You are an amazing group. You are such a worthy first graduating class. You humble me. You are trailblazers. When this high school was dreamed up and when its doors opened, you didn't run away. Most of you, to my knowledge. You came, and whether you started your LCHS careers with smiling or with pouting, you stayed, and you are here today, a worthy first class. Your commitment and risk-taking to stay with this experiment we call Liberty Common High School is commendable. Our world desperately needs risk-takers who are willing to stick with a worthy vision no matter what, so we honor you today. But all of you know you wouldn't be here without other people. You wouldn't be here without the founders of the school. You wouldn't be here without your parents. You know that there were multiple points, sometimes daily points, when you needed encouragement from someone else to press on, when you needed someone else's vision for your education, when your own vision would have led you elsewhere. Let this be a lesson to you to be real with people, to lean on people, to go through life with hearts of gratitude, since there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. So graduates, with every worthy clap that comes your way today, resolve to pass it on to the loved ones who helped you get here and who then applauded when you arrived. When I started writing this speech, I was sitting outside during sunset, and I could smell the lilacs in the air. It was so overpoweringly clear that the year had turned. that new life was announcing its arrival in any nose conscious enough to breathe. And as I stand here and look at you and think about our years together, and as your loved ones do the same, it's abundantly clear that your life has turned. I'm not saying you smell like lilacs. Track with the metaphor. I'm saying this ceremony feels like a big deal, and it looks like a big deal because it is. Commencements are times when memories and investments of the past support plans and dreams for the future, and we celebrate that meeting in the present. So look around for a second and take it in. You have arrived. And where have you arrived? You're graduating from a school whose keystone is wisdom. The summative mark for the students it produces is meant to be wisdom. Have you ever really stopped and pondered the definition of wisdom that's hung over your head on every poster, in every room, at the school for the last 3 years? Don't answer that. Notice that it does not say wisdom, understanding a lot of stuff and letting those around you know they do not. And it doesn't say, or we could go with B, it doesn't say wisdom, something you might want to be known for when you're older and finished having fun. For example, the man showed great wisdom when he told the kids to stop running through the sprinklers because they might damage the grass's root structure. Wisdom. That's, some of you are like, wait, which one was it, A or B? Well, as with most tests, the answer is C. Wisdom, understanding and being inclined toward truth, beauty, goodness, and perfection. Let's break down the language of that definition. Come on, you expected me to make it through this speech without breaking down a sentence with you. Inconceivable. Okay, so the first word of the definition is understanding. Yes, you've had to gain much understanding in your time at Liberty. I'm not going to name names, but I personally know an American literature teacher who he gave you the privilege of reading a few classics from the American canon. This American literature teacher may have received a few threats of physical violence. His final may have been 13 pages long. He may have been pelted by literal wrathful grapes from the whole class during the reading of Steinbeck's classic of a similar title. This is all speculation. What he does know, what I do know, is that we teachers have set the bar high when it comes to the amount of material we want you to understand and the level at which we want you to understand it. But notice that wisdom's definition does not stop at mere understanding of truth, beauty, goodness, and perfection. It follows with being inclined toward. That's a statement about your affections. That's a statement about your desires. That's a statement about the heart, informed by the head, but the heart nonetheless. Knowing what is good is one thing, and it's important. Loving it is another. Knowing what is true is one thing. Seeking the truth with wholehearted abandon, unwilling to accept that truth is whatever you want it to be in the moment, that's another. You are graduating in a year that has as its Grammy-winning song, 2013, the anthem, "We Are Young." Now, most of you probably have it on your iPods or iPhones right now. You might even be singing the chorus in your head since I brought it up. And, yeah, you don't have to out yourself by laughing, but that catchy chorus says, "We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun." And at first listen, it might sound like a pretty worthy anthem for a generation. To shine, to burn, to light the world on fire. You know, very, very Dr. Seussish graduation speech fodder material stuff. You know, it's good. But as you probably guiltily know, since the verses are full of drugs and alcohol and loveless love, what the band really means is this. Life is short. This life is all there is. We're at the place in life with the highest potential for physical pleasures, so let's live it up. That song represents a culture and potential roommates next year inclined towards a very defined way of life, but it's not an inclination toward beauty, truth, goodness, and perfection. It's not an inclination towards anything that will matter 2 seconds after your death. It's an anthem for a wasted life. True liberty is to live with true wisdom, a true inclination towards the good, the true, the beautiful, and the perfect. All of your classes' best moments and friendships' best conversations and families' best memories prove this and point to this. Don't settle for anything less. Do not be far too easily pleased. It wouldn't be a fitting speech for you guys without a quote from Gatsby, the very theme of your senior prom. Remember when it becomes clear that Daisy cannot measure up to the raging desires and hopes of Gatsby's heart. He'd lodged his hopes in someone, in something that couldn't handle them, that couldn't last, that couldn't bear up, that couldn't escape time's changing clutches. And it's when he actually and finally gets her that the disappointment is around the corner. And Fitzgerald writes, "No amount of fire or freshness can challenge what a man will store up in his ghostly heart." Be wise. Be inclined and all out for the beauty that can actually challenge and match up to the longings of your ghostly hearts. And bring others at your colleges and jobs and homes along with you for the ride. Light the world on fire, for sure. But do it by living at liberty. I mean, some of you basically literally lived at liberty, so it's time to move on. But you know what I'm talking about, okay? I want to close by saying thank you. Thank you for giving me the privilege of addressing you today. Thank you for putting in the work and showing forth the smiles that have made my job more rewarding than I could ever tell you. We have been able to rise up to a level together that I can't imagine imagining at another high school. I honor you, and I thank you, Liberty's first and worthy graduating class.
What did you do here? All right. You guys ready? Liberty Common High School takes its inspiration in large measure from the American Revolution. And one story that comes to mind today is the Revolutionary War story of General Francis Marion, nicknamed the Swamp Fox. I cracked open an old history book just yesterday afternoon to remind myself about how his story is a perfect metaphor for our school right now. General Marion had become revered and respected by the British forces because he always beat them in battle, yet they'd never actually seen him. His reputation was something of a ghost. Marion's camp was hidden deep in the swamps of Snow's Island. A British officer was dispatched from the British post near Georgetown to find Marion and to propose an exchange of prisoners. The officer was intercepted by a scouting party from Marion's brigade. He was blindfolded and then led through circuitous routes through the most remote parts of the island and taken to the American General Francis Marion. His blindfold was removed, and he was astonished to see standing before him a man of very small stature. He was thin, but he had a fierce look about him. Could this really be the Marion who carried terror to the gates of Charleston, who crushed the armies of the best British generals? They reached an agreement about the prisoner exchange, and afterwards, Marion invited him to dinner, which was served on a fallen tree, which was used for a table, pieces of bark for dishes, and the dinner consisted entirely of roasted sweet potatoes with only water to drink. The English officer, out of courtesy, pretended to eat. The general ate most heartily and declared it was an exceptionally good meal. "We often fare much worse," he said. The officer, upon returning to Georgetown, declared that he had seen an American general and his officers without pay, almost destitute of clothing, living on roots and water. And he added that men who endure such privations can never be conquered. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the spirit upon which our charter school was founded, upon the idea that a clear vision and noble values are more important than generous provisions. We were founded by volunteers, and we make do with less.